Hi, good day everyone, and welcome to today's class on NDY Tutorial Center. Today, basically, we'll be talking on data collection. Data is very important and essential to every aspect of life because it enables us, we humans, to make decisions about a particular thing. Take, for instance, companies, industries, factories cannot be able to make a concrete and valuable decision about their production without the use of data. For these reasons, data collection is very essential, most especially to the user. Based on today's topic, data collection, we are going to be considering the following subtopic under data collection. And the first topic we are having here is what is statistical data. Now, before we emphasize or talk more on statistical data, let's talk about what and the meaning of data. Data can be explained or can be defined as the raw fact by which, when processed, it becomes what? An information. There is two distinct things about data and information. Data is just a raw fact, while information is a processed data. Now, going back to statistical data can now be explained as the process or the way by which data is collected from the field statistically. That means the way by which researchers or statisticians collect data from the field now terms the word statistical data. Then the second subtopic we have there is why is data collected? Now, this takes us to the reason why data is what is collected from the field. Data is collected based on several reasons. We have many reasons why data can be collected for use in the field, as in the field. But the main reason why data is collected from the field is because we want to use our data to make a concrete decision about a particular thing. Because without the use of data, information cannot be gotten, especially from factories, industries, and companies. Now, the number three we have there is types of data. Our data is classified basically into two types. That is, data collection can be classified into two types. We have the first one, the primary data, and the second, we have the secondary data. Now, going back to the primary data, primary source of data collection can best be explained as the method by which data can be collected directly from the respondents. That means, in this aspect of data collection, the interviewer or the researcher collects their data source directly from what? From the respondents. While the secondary data now talks about already made data that has been collected from the field for use. Now, the best form of data collection that will give you as a resource of decision is the primary data. Why? Because the interviewer or the researcher can be able to assess the respondent very well while questioning. While the secondary data is still reliable, but not more reliable than the primary source of data. Now, the number four of this data collection is not talking about the source of statistical data. When we talk about the source of statistical data, we simply talk about it simply talks about where our data can be collected. Data can be collected either from any source, either from the factory, an institution, or a company, based on their data analysis. Now, and the last method here is talking about method of statistical data. Method of statistical data now talks about the method by which your data can be collected from the field. Data can be collected directly from the field, or data can also be collected from an organization. It can be collected through the means of what? Of telephone call. And it can also be collected through the means of what? Newspaper. We have several types, several methods of data collection. For those three types that I just mentioned now, that is the direct method, that is one, the direct method, and the second one is through the means of, let's say, a telephone, and the third method is talking about issuing of questionnaire. Okay, let me make it for questionnaire. And the fourth one is talking about we can collect data also for newspaper. Direct method in the sense that an interviewer can collect your data source directly from the respondents. And the second one, we can also collect data directly using a telephone call. That is, if you want to get the data from any source, being it an institution or a factory, you don't need to stress yourself by going further to what to collect your data from the factory, because if you save time and stress, you just use your telephone and call maybe one of the officials in that company for the data source. And number three is issuing out a questionnaire. When issuing out a questionnaire it can also be linked to a direct method of data collection, in the sense that a questionnaire can be issued to the respondents to give a valid information about him or herself. And newspaper also, which is the fourth one, can also be another method of data collection, because different journals can publicize their information through the newspaper. Based on the explanation above, we can be able to say that data collection is very essential for our daily use. On our next class, we'll be talking more on presentation of data. That is, how this data collected from the field can be presented for human understanding. Please just subscribe on our YouTube channel for more updates on our next class. Thank you.